You don't know me. No?
The second mouse gets the cheese. I'm here to thank you. You gave me the greatest gift that anybody's ever given me. Desperation.
Honestly, I'm still trying to figure out what happened to the first mouse.
Do the voice.
Oh, very well.
And you'll never see me coming.
Oh! I told you! You have the wrong guy. Does he look like he can fight? Come on, bro.
Gonna drive my long steel missile down on your love channel. Deep, deep, you'll beg for more. Raising hell and serpent score. Feel me, feel me. Now, what does that mean to you? To me, it means nothing but a sexual act.
Then who's causing this?
Well, you are.
How?
This Organized Chaos podcast is brought to you by Gems Art Studio. Gems Art Studio is an online store that allows access to prints that you can use for most anything, obviously as just a picture, or as a wallpaper, or as a bookmark, or anything you can think of. You can find Gems Art Studio at etsy.com/shop/Gems Art Studio. This podcast is also brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you. All right. So, is there another movie to talk about?
We other than Trick or Treat, we have one more Marvel thing on the docket.
This? Trick or Treat? What? Huh?
Yeah.
Who? What?
Yeah. So, in this week's Appreciating Great Trash, we are going to talk about the 1986 horror film Trick or Treat.
Yes.
Trick or Treat. It's also in other markets it was released as Ragman.
I was wondering about that. I think in YouTube. Okay, so you can't really find a commercial version of this, but it's on YouTube. So whoever uploaded it, thank you. I think it's like the title is Trick or Treat of the video title, but like the actual credits, I think say Ragman.
Yeah, Ragman, or another name that was released in other foreign markets were Death at 33 RPMs, which actually that's a really cool title.
Yeah.
But let's see here. Yeah, 1986 horror film. It was released by De La Rentes. De La Rentes Entertainment Group, known for great 80s schlock.
Well, yeah.
Yes, it's a film that stars Marc Price from, what was it, Family Tides? Or Growing Pains?
Oh, was it something like that? I didn't know that.
He was from one of the, what was the show that had Michael J. Fox?
Family Ties, I think.
Tides.
I think Growing Pains was the Kirk Cameron one, maybe?
Yeah, it's that fucking Jesus loving.
Yes, God, that dude. You know, that fucking dude.
Kirk motherfucking Cameron. Oh,
the shitty Kirk.
Yeah, well, that's something for another. That's a whole nother topic for another day.
Yeah.
But Marc Price played the neighbor on Family Tides, named Skippy.
Mm-hmm.
But and also stars Tony Fields, and with two very special cameos.
Yeah.
One by Gene Simmons plays a DJ named Nuke. And the other one by Ozzy Osbourne, who plays a television reverend preaching about the evils of rock and roll. Fun fact, the director had once said, the director Mark Charles Smith, he was that little buggy guy from The Untouchables.
Yeah.
He was the one who died in the elevator with the note, touchable.
Mm.
But he said that there's a scene where we see Ozzy on TV talking about the dangers of metal music and, the dangers of children listening to it and all that noise and everything. But none of Ozzy's lines were scripted. They just let him go.
Really?
He said there's like 45 minutes of footage of Ozzy just going off and going on and on.
That's kind of cool. So I have a clip of that here. I'll go ahead and play it now. But I'm kind of amazed that he just came up with it.
Is it the, I want to drive my missile?
Yeah. I have it spliced with something else. So
Good.
it
Good.
spoils everything.
That's an appropriate one to splice it with. That movie's just classic.
Here we go.
You honestly think it's
Go right ahead.
Gonna drive my long
down.
steel missile down on your love channel.
It still cracks me
Deep,
up.
deep, you'll beg for more. Raising hell and serpent score. Feel me, feel me. Now, what does that mean to you? To me, it means nothing but a sexual act.
It's by Mozart and Bach, and it's sort of in between. It's like a masterpiece, really.
What do you call this?
Well, this piece is called "Lick My Love Pump."
Yeah, now when I saw the Ozzy thing, I just couldn't help but think of the classical piece, "Lick My Love Pump."
Lick My Love Pump, yeah. But in this movie, the movie follows our main character, Eddie, who's played by Skippy.
Mm-hmm.
Skippy is a metalhead in high school, obviously doesn't have a nice time in high school. He kind of gets picked on for his musical tastes and how he dresses like your pretty much run-of-the-mill metalhead kid. Like if you were to ever have that character type on a ABC style sitcom show, he would dress just how this character is the whole movie.
Sure.
Long, dirty hair, torn jeans, t-shirts representing metal bands, the whole nine. But we find out that in it he has a very favorite, like his hero was this guy by the name of Sammy Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
He has like a poster of Sammy above his bed. Sammy went to the same high school, grew up in the same town as he did. So Sammy's a huge hero of his. And, we see all this time and we see him doing some laundry and sees some footage of Sammy in the news in some court hearings talking about, offensive music and affecting the youth of America. This did come out a year after the PMRC trial. So, of course. Yeah. And we see a clip of him kind of telling a lady, like, telling her off. And then cuts back to a newscaster to say, if you're just joining us, Sammy Kerr, dead.
Yeah, I know. It so pulls that out of nowhere. It's like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
See him watching it going, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He's
Sammy
like,
Kerr,
fuck
dead.
this bitch. Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. Like, I lost it the first time I've ever seen this. I just was laughing so hard. And you see a scene of him just, he goes through some rough times and he decides to do some redecorating to the most appropriate music ever. A song called Tearing Down the Walls, but he's just really ripping posters off.
There you go.
But, and he gets to do it to Sammy and he stops and he freezes and he just has a moment. Later, he goes to visit his friend Nuke, played by Gene Simmons, who Gene once said that he tried to play the role like he was Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, which I totally get. Yeah, and as much as I hate to say this, Gene did a good job with that.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
I have my own issues with Gene Simmons. So
he is. I haven't done a whole lot of research, but Kiss by itself is a mixed bag.
Yeah, I kind of, another time, another day, another day. But yeah, and he talks to Nuke because Nuke knew Sammy. Nuke went to high school with him. He grew up with him. He knew him very well. And he's like, look, here's something. I want to give you something. The last record that he ever recorded.
I have a clip
plan
for that.
was to play it at midnight on Halloween.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
I got something for you. Know what this is? It's the last record of the Kerr legacy. Yeah. They tried to ban him, but they couldn't stop him.
Yeah, totally Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, no, he is
totally Wolfman Jack.
He's Wolfman Jack, and he is chewing scenery, and it's pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
I'm kind of on board with it.
It's all right, yeah, all right, Gene. You're kind of a piece of shit, but all right.
Yeah.
All right. So he gets it. He goes home, and he listens, and he decides to put it on, and just, falls asleep. And then he has some sort of dream about the hotel fire that night. He wakes up to hear that it's skipping. So he goes to fix it, and he kind of turns his table back, and then he discovers the backmasking track. Full pause. at that time, backmasking was very popular in metal music and in the rock industry, and it's actually been quite popular since the 70s. And more so, and probably now, maybe with the popularity, trendiness of vinyl or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like rock stars have put hidden messages in it. Now, if you put your hand down on your turntable and just spin the record very slowly backwards, most of the time you're able to catch those messages. There's a very famous case about how Led Zeppelin was really praising their love and devotion to Satan with the song "Stairway to Heaven."
Ooh.
Now, I've heard the alleged backmasking praising, and I go, it kind of sounds like Robert Plant is saying that. But then again, all those guys were always like just super high on LSD and drunk off their asses. So, I mean, maybe, they did it to fuck with you or, whatever. Rock stars have done that for years. Hell, John Lennon famously did it with the Beatles song, where only the first few words in the song actually genuinely mean something. The rest is complete, total nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Song's "I Am the Walrus."
Yeah.
Shocker. But the opening line is, "I am here, you are near, and we are all together."
Mm-hmm.
Only words that he put actual meaning to. The rest is Lennon just kind of giving the middle finger to the people who try to dissect their lyrics.
Yeah, no, I always loved the story behind "I Am the Walrus" because it was John Lennon, because they always found these meanings in these songs, and it's like, I didn't write that. They're finding these things, and "I Am the Walrus" was almost like a challenge for him, just like, go ahead, I fucking dare you to figure out what the fuck this song means, because I have no idea.
I don't know. I was fucking high when I wrote it.
Yes.
I'm John fucking Lennon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he discovers the backmasking track, and somehow it seems to be correlating to what Eddie is going through personally with the bullies Eddie's experiencing with, I can't think of the actor's name, but I've seen him in so much as this role and in so many 80s movies as this bully type. He plays it so fucking well. It's great.
I did not recognize him at all. But I mean, you're talking about the main bully, right?
Yeah, the main bully, yes. The man who learned the value lesson of not wearing a skinny tie in shop class.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives Eddie these directions on how to get back at his bullies. And at first the revenge is, very tame, considering what they did to him earlier in the film, which they found him in a locker. They found his stuff in the locker room. First got into his locker, started going through his shit. That's fucked up to begin with. Was making fun of his clothes. Like one dude had his little jean vest on with his buttons going, "Yeah, dude, yeah." Honestly, when I first saw this, I go, man, I want to punch that guy.
Yeah.
And they ended up like they stole some stuff from him. She's like trying to get it back from him. The main bully grabs his towel, pushes him outside of the gym while the girls are playing volleyball. It's a good thing one of them just so happened to have her camera.
Yeah.
Gym class.
I thought that was so weird. She ran up with a camera. It's like, really? You want to save that?
I mean, I felt bad for the kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I felt bad for him, too. And it's also one of those things, like, in high school, of course, you're going to be, like, all ashamed and freaked out. Where in, like, normal reality, like, when you're growing up, you'd look at a situation like that, and you'd just be like, ladies,
you'll cover your bits.
Don't stare too much.
Yeah, you'll cover your bits and just go, ladies, enjoying the day.
I know you've been dreaming about this. I know you've been...
And boom, boom, boom. And it's like, talk about your best dream come to a reality. Yeah. Just try to play it off. Getting very funny, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but... Anyways, his plan to exact revenge on him was to walk up to him and just slap his tray of food right into him, which, good. Then he runs, chases him, and through a long, big setup, he set up these long series of Tom and Jerry style traps, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He ends up tricking them to make him think he ducked out into the teacher's lounge. And they go in there and bust it in with the fire extinguisher and just get like, a good half of the faculty soaked with fire extinguisher juice. Oh, during that also, there's a great clip where they run into a kid from the AV club and they just throw a projector down the stairs.
Yeah, no, these bullies are intense, and it's kind of fun just how absurd they are. It's
Yeah,
oh my god.
Give it a rest, bro.
It's like, okay, so he's a metalhead. Get over it, guys. Get over it.
Fucking deal. Which I have like one gripe about that, but I'm gonna get to it later.
Okay.
So after that, payback is great. Next day, he goes to record a cassette tape of it, so he could take the full backwards album and listen to it on his cassette tape at school. After school, he takes his buddy home and he plays it for him. He's like, "Dude, I'm telling you, this happened." And the guy's like, "I don't know, it's kind of lacking on the melody, but just same old sound that he did before. That's what it sounds like to me, dude." He's like, "Oh, you're not hearing it." And I go, "Man, you're maybe digging too much into it, man. I know you're bent out of shape about him dying, but just got to move on, man." And his friend just thinks he's just obsessing over Sammy's death. And he's like, "Oh, you're not listening." So that's when he makes the tape. The next day, he goes into a shop class because he hears another one that says 6-6 drill the bit. And and room 6-6 is shop class.
That's right. Yes, I forgot about that.
Which that's kind of a nice touch. Oh yeah, I forgot to introduce Leslie, a girl who was out in the gym at the time. Her friend ran and got the photo. I forget that girl's name. We'll just call her Lisa. Yeah, Lisa. So she took the photo, but Leslie was able to get the photo back from Lisa and give it back and his tape. And she's like, "I'm sorry, my friends are assholes." And she invited him to go to a pool party. This is how and he goes to a pool party where, again, these bullies are just way over the top.
Man.
Like, they probably don't have these now, but I know when, Bob, you and I were much younger, I remember seeing these, like, the item they stuck in his backpack. I remember seeing those all the time in Boy Scouts. It's like a little weighted mount at the bottom, which you would put a flagpole in, but it's just like this heavy thing to keep a pole standing up or a flag or some giant hunk of metal, pretty much, they put in his backpack and push him into the pool with his backpack still on. So that's attempted murder right there.
Yeah.
First of all, not to possibly mention the breaking and entering. But yeah, I think that's actually what triggers him to do the first payback. I'm missing parts.
Yeah. It's not great art, but it is fun.
It's so entertaining.
Yeah.
So the second attack that he tries to get them back with, because they want to get him back for, having them do janitorial work all afternoon.
Ooh.
You'd be surprised what people stick underneath a desk. Actually, no.
No, that's what I thought.
No, that's exactly what I thought. A lot of gum.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of gum. Probably
hey, guys, free gum.
Dude, guys, this one broke the tile. This has to be from the 70s. So
tastes dusty.
Yeah, this time. So they try to get him back. They try to exact serious revenge on him, and the main bully kind of corners him into the wall where he starts picking up wrenches and fucking throwing them at him.
Yeah, which is insane.
I mean, I did think of it instantly when I was watching that. If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
How did I not think of that? Holy shit!
But the bully throws two, and they get a little bigger, and then he gets to grabbing a big old daddy wrench, and he starts slowly walking up to him. But I don't know. It's like when he goes over to grab it, he's wearing a skinny tie, and both him and his buddy are wearing them. And typical 80s, you see them both with their skinny ties. I just started laughing at the ties when I first saw it. Yeah. He leans over on some shop equipment. It somehow turns on, wraps his tie, sucks him down on his chest. A drill starts coming at his eye very slowly, very slowly. His buddy goes to save him, and he's stopped by sparks. He can't get past him. He doesn't want to, ruin his tie or his hair. But, I think that was a belt sander. It was some sort of industrial sander that was causing the sparks to shoot out.
Yeah.
But anyways, Skippy sees it. He slowly gets up. The dude's like, make it stop, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing? I ain't doing shit, man.
Yeah.
And he turns the power off just in time, which, that's about the point I would have turned it off too. Would have really let him sweat.
Man, these bullies are intense, though. It's like, holy shit. I mean, I guess it's part of the fun of this movie, because this is insane.
Because, I mean, I think after that occurrence, I wouldn't fuck with that guy again.
Yeah, no.
Lesson learned. Lesson learned. You are one not to be fucked with. Got it.
You get an apology card now.
Yeah, you're going to get a very sincere apology. Very sincere apology. But anyways, Eddie decides to make a copy of the tape and give it to him as a peace offering. Thinking that, we'll see what happens,
That's right, yes.
Anyways, the guy goes to go be making out with Lisa. He goes to take a breather or whatever. Maybe she's just, sucking all the air out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's peeing, not what seems like so far away from the car, where they're at, she discovers the tape, puts on some headphones, and starts listening to it. And then we see these like kind of green, crappy CGI smoke hands come and start having their way with her, and we're thinking that that's Sammy. He's possessed through the music, or the electricity is what it actually turned out to be. But his spirit or soul, essence, whatever is in there. And he starts giving her the time of his life.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, she seems 100% into this.
Just so on board until she opens her eyes.
Yeah, until the end. She is like totally into this.
She's feeling it, yeah. And at the end, we're presented to a demon-like thing, which they gave a name to it. And I know that they meant to use it a lot more, but just they ran out of funding. But the puppet itself that they use for it, and then that shot is great. Like, it looks amazing, even if it's brief.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to use a lot more of it, but time, money.
Yeah.
And I guess that he was also going to be featured on a lot of the Sammy Kerr album covers throughout the film.
Oh,
so
really?
It's like a little demon, like a trait, like you know how Iron Maiden has the Trooper?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
Okay. That was the purpose of that, because I had to do some digging to find out. Like, because always I thought, the fuck is this thing doing here? I could see its string.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So he goes to run back. He runs back to the car, takes the headphones off, and it kind of peels off from her ear, which is a great effect.
Mm-hmm.
Great effect. And it put her in the hospital. He goes back over to Eddie's house, and he's like, trying to confront him, like, what the hell did you do, man? And, he goes to run up and attack him. Eddie stops him and causes fire from jack-o'-lanterns to rise.
Yeah.
So Eddie's controlling black magic at this point. I like to think this must be what Skippy was up to when he wasn't hanging out with the family.
Sure, yeah.
It's logical.
In universe, okay?
In universe, yes. So, yeah, and after this is when the bully gets the idea, you know what? I don't want to mess with you anymore.
Yeah, I won't have done that like forever ago, but okay.
Yeah, I would have done that after the almost drilling out of my eyeball.
Yeah.
But hey, cool. Whatever. So he goes back up, and he tries to communicate with Sammy by backmasking the record again. This causes a bunch of electrical turbulence and shaking, soda to spill on the record, him to come out outside of the speaker in a really beautiful effect, actually, a great practical effect. And he kind of fully emerges into a actual human form.
I think I have that here. That
clip of him busting out of the speaker.
Oh, of course. All this stuff is not set up the way I left it.
I couldn't find the only full copy. I actually couldn't pull a rip of it off YouTube. I had a lot of difficulty doing it because of the length.
Yeah. Well, I can just do a YouTube download.
Well, there's a website I use for it, but they can't do anything over 90 minutes.
Really?
Maybe you.
I have an add-on on Firefox that will do it, and then I can also VLC player will do. Although that one's there's a couple steps, but I can do it.
Okay, cool. Because I was only able to find like 1 out of 8 clips. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right after he emerges, and all of that 80s rock.
Yeah,
glory.
all that animated electricity. Seneca lives. Yeah.
I was going to say, the band that performs most of the music in this,
That's right.
that is obviously supposed to be Sammy, is the band Fastlane.
Fastlane? Okay. I was want to say it was like
Fastlane.
Fastway or something like that.
Or something like that. Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
I did listen to the soundtrack a few times, which also coincidentally was the band's third album.
Well, I think that thing might have actually, because I was looking for this online, I couldn't find it except for YouTube. But
I believe they did record with Tony Fields as their singer and did a tour, I think.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, actually. I mean, it would have been cool if, like, John C. Reilly and his band toured for Dewey Cox stuff.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I don't know. Him and Jenna Fischer singing, like, Let's Duet. I probably would have lost it every time.
Yes. Okay, yeah, I believe... Oh, okay, yeah, it's right here. So you can't find a commercial version of this movie really anywhere.
No, you really can't.
But the soundtrack's on Spotify.
It's also on YouTube Music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Trick or Treat original motion picture soundtrack, as posted by Fastway.
Oh, Fastway. Okay,
Yes.
It is Fastway. It is, in fact, Fastway. But, yeah, so this is also the scene where we get the death of the Reverend Ozzy Osbourne.
That's right.
He comes on screen, you know, talking about how these people are perverted.
Yes.
Or something along those lines. And you see Sammy kind of do a raking gesture across the screen. And then we find out he has a heart attack on set.
Yeah, well, it's weird. Like, you just kind of see the picture go out and you kind of hear him go, ah, or something like that, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice because, truthfully, I would love for that to happen to Joel Osteen, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay. Yeah, you're well. I do want to say, like, Ozzy Osbourne's kind of awesome in this. He's just playing it straight, completely straight, and kind of blank face, and it kind of works.
But it's also kind of like, you could tell he was having so much fun doing that. And I mean, God, I would love that 45 minutes just to listen to it.
The issue of Ozzy in this movie, there's not nearly enough. It's all...
Yeah.
I want to say it's technically like 2 scenes, but it's obviously shot on the same day, same set, and very quickly together.
Between he and Gene, they have a total under 3 minutes and 15 seconds of screen time, I believe.
Yeah, perfect.
It's something. It's not even 5 minutes.
And I'll go ahead and say most of that is Gene, and it's just that one scene where they're talking for the most part.
Yeah, and most of it's Gene.
Yes.
I mean, we even hear Gene more throughout the radio broadcast throughout the film, which, again, that's probably stuff that was like, he could have literally phoned that in.
Yes, he could have literally.
But knowing Gene, he probably would have asked for more money if he did that.
What, you think Gene likes money?
The man sells Kiss coffins.
Huh.
Did you not know that?
Are you saying that Kiss is something he uses to make money?
Well, I mean, he can't use his family anymore.
You see, it's been a while since I've researched that stuff. That might be a topic worth talking about.
Yeah, we could dive into Gene and Kiss's greed. And Kiss in general.
Yeah.
So, yes, after this, it gets pretty intense, but nothing really does happen. It's just kind of a lot of idle threats made from Sammy to him.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he starts breaking his stereo. His mom comes in. She's like, "You broke your stereo. I wanted a new one." And he gets grounded.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
And it's worth noting that she didn't like she was... This is past the scene where she went through his stuff and was like freaked out by all this stuff already.
Like, yeah, she was kind of... You see her looking through some album covers, and you clearly see her just, And even later, when we're first introduced to Ozzy's character, she's like, I want to say she's jazzercising in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's right.
Watching television, and they're first interviewing him. And you first hear him talking, and that's where we see the clip you played earlier of
Yeah.
him talking about a love missile down what is it, like a flesh missile down a love channel. Yeah, it's clear what they're talking about. Space travel.
They're being very subtle. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, space travel.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Everything's different in space. Yeah. But yeah, he gets grounded, and then he calls up his buddy because he needs his friend to go get that tape because he knows it's bad news. So he calls his buddy Roger, and Roger goes over to this bully's house to try and steal it out with no sense of discretion whatsoever. Like, you see him, like, sneaking over in the most suspicious outfit he could. He tries to get into the door. He realizes that it's unlocked, goes in, gets the tape, pedals his little moped off, and then starts it and rides away.
Yeah.
I mean, he does it covertly and discreetly. You know, he doesn't get caught, but it's just he looks suspicious.
Yeah.
the whole time doing it. I'd just be like, that little geeky kid's up to something.
Oh.
Anyways, he goes home and he tells Eddie, I got it. I destroyed the tape. Roger lies.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes and plays it on his own. He goes to make himself a snack, and Sammy's there in his living room.
Yeah.
And that's also the scene where he kills Large Marge.
I don't remember that at all.
He pulls a woman out of the television. That actress is the same lady.
Okay.
But also, it seems like, you know, she's a rather average height human being.
Yeah.
But when they pull her out, she's a dwarf.
Yeah.
And when he drops her, it's just a bunch of ash, which totally doesn't look like a paper mache model that they burnt.
No.
He tells him he wants Roger to take that tape to the school dance and play it at midnight on Halloween, so he can exact his revenge on the school.
Right. Yep.
And, you know, he convinces Roger to do it just because Roger has no backbone at this point, but he does get a hero redemption. Eventually.
Yes.
Moving on. We see Eddie there at his house. His mom's waiting for her date to pick her up. We see Eddie come down the stairs. Skippy opens the door, and he sees this guy, this scrawny, middle-aged man trying to be Rambo, and he's like, die. Oh, hold on. I got a better prop for it. He's like, die, commie pig.
Yeah, that's right. That was weird.
However, that wasn't a giant double-barreled shotgun what he had.
Mm-hmm.
That was like automatic rifle, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
That was a double-barreled rifle. Antique. Oh. I had just gotten it, so I was like, hey, I could use that as a prop.
Show off.
Right here. Thing's heavy.
Yeah. Probably.
But, it's older than my dad. It was my grandpa's.
Yeah.
It's old.
Let's grab here. I have Lightning McQueen.
Ooh. I can't show my other prop.
Oh dear. Oh no.
It's a no-no in this. Anyways, so he goes, we get, like, my favorite joke was him saying, die, commie pig.
Yeah.
His wife comes down, or his mom comes down dressed as Madonna, I think.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
It's early, mid-'80s Madonna, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, they go to leave to some Halloween party. And Eddie's there left alone, and we see a few minutes of him just settling into being home for the night, and then he thinks death is preferable. Which, I mean, kind of funny, but yeah. We go to the dance, we see Leslie there, and we also see the bully there getting drunk, somehow.
Yeah.
But we also see we see Leslie asking his friend, God, I just had his name.
I don't think I ever remembered his name.
Roger.
Okay, sure.
Roger.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, no, it is Roger. Roger, you know, and she's like, hey, where's Eddie? Oh, he's around. He can't make it. What you got there? Oh, I'm just going to play a tape. And, you know, she goes to call him and try and get Eddie to come. Over the phone, Eddie hears this tape playing. He's like, hey, what's that music playing? And she's like, oh, Roger, he's been standing over there for a while. And, you know, we later see him, and, you know, he freaks out. He says, you need to get out of there right now. Go, go, go. I'm on my way. He then delivers a whole bowl of candy to a trick-or-treater at his front door, and he goes to take off towards the school. And I think this is where the car becomes possessed for the first time. He goes because apparently we find out that Sammy can travel through electricity and wherever the tape is. So they don't really establish how that happens, but they still just have it set that way.
Yeah, he's kind of like Electro. And there actually is a little clip I want to play of Sammy here, and I can't use my actual mouse. But I probably need to reset this clip too, because all this stuff got janked up for some reason. This one is apparently good to go. So
okay. Yeah. We're coming up on this part too.
Yeah, and as I recall, like he gets out of there and then it falls in there again. And it's like, God, this guy is so weak to toilet water.
Yeah, like toilet water is his kryptonite, man. I mean, it's fitting.
I could see a scenario where it's like, oh God, guys, we're safe from him. We just have to soak ourselves in toilet water. And someone going,
quick to the sewage treatment plant.
I think I'm good with dying. I mean,
I'm all right with dying.
There's limits, guys. There's a limit.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna put on a Humpty Dumpty outfit and chill on a balcony. I think I'll be good.
But yeah, this movie was fun.
So we see Roger over there, and no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Sammy possesses the car and takes Skippy on a wild ride. Almost leaves his car to go off of a bridge a drawbridge that's up, but somehow he manages to stop, or the car breaks down, or he pulls the tape out, or whatever. So he starts hoofing it to the school, and he somehow still makes it kind of in time.
Yeah, I was amazed how quickly he made it. It's like, how?
Kind of. I mean, he didn't make it in time.
No, but
he still
he
got
made
there
it amazingly quickly.
Yes, Skippy can travel quite fast.
Yeah.
I'm really amazed. Is this also the scene with the cop? Yeah, I think this is. No, that's later. That's later.
I mean, to give you kind of an idea, this would be like if they started playing the wall and he made it there before another Breaking the Wall part 2.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Much.
How?
No. You had 1 minute and 43 seconds.
Yeah.
No.
That's not how it works.
So yeah, he gets there and the tape starts, and then we get a cameo from the director in one of those goofy Groucho glasses.
I did not realize that was him. I know.
That is. It took me a few moments.
Yeah.
The latter scene with him was a very nice touch, I thought.
Yeah.
So he introduces a band that's going to play, and this is where I find this is the one thing about this movie that just really irks me. So Eddie was made fun of for being a metalhead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is there a fucking metal band playing the school dance and everyone is so happy about it?
Well, it's a dumb movie, but yeah, it never made sense to me that how they're, oh my God, this kid's a metalhead. So
and
oh
we
my
all like
God,
metal. We all like metal.
Yeah. This kid's not into cool bands like Def Leppard. He's into Sammy Kerr. Is that it, Sammy Kerr? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, they're super similar. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, but Sammy's better.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
Hey, don't diss on Def Leppard.
Oh, I mean they have a leg to stand on. Anyway,
it's an arm, not a leg. They're fine with legs.
Limb by limb. Anyways. So yeah, Sammy then the band goes like, all right, we're gonna play. So the guitarist goes to check his gear, try and get it working, and then Sammy's hand comes out of the speaker and he kills him. And a big explosion. There's one very enthusiastic guy in the back where you see this big smoke cloud come up and a guitar come flying up. You hear this guy in the back going, awesome. Rock and roll!
No.
He's feeling it. We see Sammy catch the guitar and they stop and they start playing a song. He starts giving a beat and the band all knows it just by him playing 3 chords.
Yeah, of course they do.
Which is true. Every musician knows that.
Yes.
Like, if you hear the first few notes, you know how the whole song is structured.
You know how the whole thing goes.
Exactly. And if you don't, well, you'll get electroshocked to death by the lead frontman, which is exactly what starts happening to the crowd.
Oh no, they didn't know it, did they? They didn't know.
Sammy starts building up his solo electricity power and zapping people, which is, in truth, a fucking hilarious scene.
Yeah.
You see a guy with like a whole black robe and garb and a skull mask. You see him rocking out on the fence, riding the rail, and immediately you think, okay, that's a weird shot to focus right on the fans like that. Like they were on him for a long time for what they showed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they showed him for a reason. You see him charging up, and he kills the skull guy. Starts killing a few more people, but after you see the skull guy go, you just see more kids run up and take his place on the rail, as it does happen at shows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know about the electroshock thing, but if somebody moves,
not that one, but
your spot's fucking gone.
Yeah, you have a good spot like that, and you better hold on to it.
And if you're on the rail, get a beverage, get 2 beverages prior, drink one quickly, and then you have your peeing cup.
Yes, I was about ready to say, just be prepared to wet yourself.
And then you have your peeing cup. I have been to shows where I have had to have a peeing cup.
I'm not giving this up. I'm not giving...
No, I wasn't. It was a rare lifetime chance. I wasn't giving that up. I got there early for a reason, Bob.
What?
That's why I chose just to take small sips of my water all night. So we see more, and I did mention earlier about a Humpty Dumpty. There is a kid that they show before the band in a giant Humpty Dumpty outfit sitting on a balcony in the gym.
Right, yes.
And I remember they showing that, and I went, hey, Humpty's here, all right. And he is the last one to die out of all the kids. And everyone just explodes like it's the Death Star. It's just boom, boom.
And right before Humpty Dumpty dies, and he sees all the bodies, he goes, I didn't see that coming.
No. And the principal we see earlier dies, and all we see of him is the glasses falling down and the nose coming off of the glasses, and we actually hear the nose make contact with the floor of the gym, very audible. And that is what I thought. Like that's a nice touch there.
Yes.
I like. I really like that. That was cool. But, did you know that this director who played the principal, he also directed another film,
Dolphin Tale 2.
No, not just that. Air Bud.
Oh, did he do Air Bud too?
He is the director, Air Bud. So yes, fun side fact to that. So this is about the time that Eddie gets here. He sees Roger having a mental breakdown on the front. You know, he comrades him, gets him back up, and they go in there to try and take on Sammy. We go to Leslie, where she's being confronted by the bully, and he's fucking drunk and tries to take advantage of her. She rejects him. He knocks her to the ground and then is immediately apologetic. Then, she runs away. He's chasing her. Eddie comes running in looking for her. He just misses her. He sees him like, dude, you got to get out. He's like, man, leave me alone. Sammy comes and kills him. So that bully's dead. Good riddance.
Yeah.
And pretty much now we're just left with what is mostly the final chase while he is chasing down Leslie and Eddie. And in this part, we see the toilet scene where they get away, and then he gets cornered again, and then there's a really great effect where we see him walking through a hallway, and we see Static go around the doorway and then shoot down in the middle, and then he just emerges right there and becomes manifest full form. I thought that was I was like, okay, that's a cool effect for this being like a mid-'80s film.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously dated, but largely the effects in this are surprisingly solid.
Yeah.
It kind of works. Kind of for this super cheesy movie.
Yeah, for the premise and everything. It holds up so well. Anyways, it gets to a point where they're all able to get free. The police arrive. They start talking to the kids. The cops think, somebody spiked the punch. And then the final chase ensues where they destroy all the tapes. They decide they have to destroy all the copies. They realize there's one more left at the radio station.
That's right.
So they go to destroy it at the radio station. Sammy interferes. He tells Leslie to go wait for him, and he grabs some radios, and he gets him out, and he's able to finally kill him. And when he drives him into the fucking river in the stolen cop car, and that's the end of the movie. And it ends with him giving a sign off on the radio.
Yes.
Which I would more think, who the fuck is on the air right now?
Where'd he come from?
Who the fuck is Ragman? So yes, this movie, it is just pure 80s cheap schlock.
Yes.
And it's great.
Yeah, no, this is so much fun. I kind of like how it plays with the idea, because it reminds you of that, especially with Ozzy Osbourne, how, oh my god, this metal music's gonna corrupt people, and it's so just playing into that, and it's so stupid and ridiculous, and I kind of love how it plays into that. It's one of those movies, like, the more I think about it, the more I kind of like, I'm like, that is so kind of fun. It's
like the idea behind it is just fun.
Yeah, it's like, do you know how parents fear this metal music? Well, we're gonna take that to the nth degree in this movie, and it's gonna be fucking stupid and glorious all at the same time.
But it's also more for the kids of that, so that way they could see this and think, wow, their fear is so irrational.
Yeah. So wait, they're scared that they're gonna listen to bad music or metal music, and then this guy will come back from the dead and get electrocuted by toilet water?
And stuff will happen?
Oh my god.
Well, this isn't like the first time that this subject has been tackled in film, and I mean, it's mainly not the main plot in one in particular I'm kind of thinking about. I'm thinking about, like, Detroit Rock City, ironically. Kiss Again.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I've seen that. Yeah, that's a Kiss one.
But how, like, the parents they hated Kiss. They hated that, like, that the kids were into that.
Yeah.
And, like, that stuff was very much a real thing. Like, there were who just didn't like the music, but, like, we still see that today, and that's something that I feel will always be relevant. Like, older people questioning the music of the younger generation.
Although I feel like maybe it's toning down a bit, because the last artist I clearly remember that, like, really getting a boost from that outrage would probably be, like, Manson. Right?
What about Cardi B and that Wet Ass Pussy song?
Oh, I guess. I don't know. Like,
I mean,
don't recall...
not the same genre.
I guess there were parents on YouTube freaking out about that. I guess it always will be around.
It always will be, yes. But, I mean, in the sense of metal...
it's still dumb.
But in the sense of metal, you're 100% right about that, Marilyn Manson. 100% right about that. And I'd seen Manson once live. I saw him at an Ozfest early 2000s, I want to say. Maybe.
That probably would have been about, probably peak Manson about that time, early 2000s, late 90s.
It was way after, a little bit after Mechanical Animals.
Okay.
Definitely after that. It was, I'm trying to think. There was one year that I went to Ozfest where it was like the main stage lineup, and this was at Polaris Amphitheater, so the main amphitheater stage was like opening Black Label Society. I'm not sure of the order on this. I want to say it was like Judas Priest, Slayer, Iron Maiden, and then Sabbath.
Okay.
Which that was a fucking great bill.
Yeah.
That was a fucking great night. And I know the year before was like Disturbed, Manson, I want to say another band, and then Ozzy. Yeah, I don't remember. This was high school too, so I'm a hazy on it.
It might also be because is metal less popular now than it once was? Because I feel like there's less new metal bands. Like, in early 2000s, they were all over.
Well, I want to say that there's still probably a great number of them, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them are practicing the "it ain't broke" method.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot with, like, metal, I feel.
Yeah.
and
true.
like that's why after a while, like I can't go long stints of just listening to nothing but it because it kind of gets stale to me.
It gets redundant. There isn't enough to it. It depends on the bands too, but
it really does. I mean, now there's like they've broken off to like different genres so much now that there's like the speed metal, the like epic metal, the what the fuck ever, There's so much of it. I mean, there's one great band that is mostly instrumental, but I would classify them as progressive metal music. It's just a 3-piece band, a drummer, a bass player, and a guitarist, and they make some long, epic numbers, and they rock. Yeah, I'm recommending that band to you, Bob.
What band?
They're called the Aristocrats.
Okay.
Yeah, you might like them.
Let me see what Spotify has.
Yeah. They good. You can get lost in some of those songs for a while.
Yeah.
But yes, Trick or Treat, this movie. If you were able to track it down on YouTube, or if you randomly find one in your local grocery store, because that's where I found my copy many years ago. But my copy had Ozzy and Gene on it, so the movie is billing it as those two are the stars of the film.
Yeah, I've seen copies where it's like Gene and Ozzy on the alternate sides of the movie.
And it looks kind of almost like the Amity House in the middle of them.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just copy and pasted there, and it doesn't even look like them from the movie, especially not Ozzy.
Gene, not even.
Yeah.
Gene,
like, wow.
But Ozzy is clearly, that's not the same Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
But highly recommended for this film.
Yeah, it is.
Highly recommended.
This is a lot of fun. This is one I've never seen before. That watching it for this, and I dug this. This is it's dumb in all the right ways.
Yeah, this movie is what this segment was made for.
Yes. I don't think we mentioned it, but this was Charlie Martin Smith's first directing job, and
it was.
Honestly, he tackles something kind of dumb and outlandish, and he handles it in a dumb, outlandish way, and it works.
Yeah, I mean, you could clearly tell that he took the trauma route with this.
Yes,
like he stole a few pages from Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is that he didn't quite go for the blood aspect as much as others.
No, he didn't. But
he didn't go for any type of gore, really.
No, I mean,
it's actually rather tame.
I would say the goriest
while
thing
also
is
being
probably,
insane.
Probably when they pull that earphone off of the girl.
Yes.
That's probably the most graphic thing that we see. I mean, we see nudity in that scene, but it's not like it's not like done in exploitation style like it usually is in these movies.
Yeah. So fun fact, there's nudity on YouTube.
There is if you dig enough.
Yeah.
It's sure there is. What those foreign films are really saying, but they are quite liberal with what they allow into their cinemas. Especially the Italians.
Oh, I'm certain.
So yes, I think that wraps it up for Trick or Treat.
Yeah, Trick or Treat, so much fun. Dig it up on YouTube because that's about the only place you can really watch it now.
And you'll just bust out laughing the second you see Ozzy. That also reminds me, this movie does have an end credit scene.
It does?
It's of Ozzy, and it's another little clip. It's like, you will become a depraved person.
Shit.
And that's really all it is.
I just turned it off. I did not see it.
It is. I had noticed it when I was I was trying to find a way to like download the full video, and that's how I discovered it had it, because I accidentally clicked on the end of the video, and it was like, oh wait, that's there?
Yeah.
And I've probably owned this movie since about 2006.
Well, until Marvel, like almost no movies had an end credit scene. It was not a thing. Pixar did a couple. Probably the most famous one was probably Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to say like, I know there's one. It wasn't technically an end credit scene, but the Phantom Menace. At the end credits, you slowly hear the faintest sound of Darth Vader breathing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
but that's and I'm trying to think of if there's anything else. I mean, movies had always done like the outtakes and stuff like that during the credits, but
yeah, it became kind of popular for comic book movies. And then when Marvel did that Nick Fury scene at the end of Iron Man, it took off. I want to go ahead and add some audio credits at the end here. The theme music you're hearing at the beginning and end of this podcast was written and performed by George Johnson, a very good friend of mine. And my current Patreons are Fel Martins, David Lara, and Lindsay Pankhurst. If you'd like to become a patron, go ahead and follow the link down below. Anything you can provide would be incredibly helpful to this channel. We're barely limping by right now. I'd love to make this my full-time job. I'm miles away from that right now. So any help you could provide, just $1 a month would be amazing. You know you want to. All your friends are doing it.